Hi, so this is my first video, and I wanted to explore taking you with me on whatever journey this is that I'm about to head on. And I thought, what better place to start than the ruins? So, this is what used to be my living room. Had a plumbing failure, and in November, it is May of the following year. Um, anyways, found out I needed to just actually rebuild the room. It wasn't built to code, and so on and so forth. I could redo it, but anyhow, I worked with a construction company, a couple of them actually, and the most recent one. It is so expensive to do this. It is actually total cost would come to around $250,000, which is about more than what my entire house is already worth just to build a room. With a few extravagancies, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to do a fireplace and larger doors. So, anyhow, I will not be doing that anymore, or I will be figuring out a way to get the costs to reasonable prices. But, anyways, I am also in a crazy time in my life. I work in tech for a major corporation that everyone knows. I'm 49 years old. AI is upon us, and we are being pushed to learn it and to use it, monitored. If we don't use it, we're going to get in trouble. And it's interesting. I'm going to tell you, it makes the job a lot easier. You know, it can basically code for you, but it's not to the point to where it really needs to be. You still have to know what it's doing and learn to ask it the proper questions, because otherwise it's not perfect. It's like garbage in, garbage out. So if it doesn't understand what you're asking it, it's going to give you something that is wrong. But anyways, a lot of companies are doing 5 days in the office again. And I think that a lot of that is because they want people to voluntarily leave. I don't think it has anything to do with productivity. I think employees are very productive at home as well. I think it has to do with getting newer people in, getting them trained, and then getting people who are earning the most out. People who have responsibilities, people who are parents, people who have built their lives around a hybrid schedule. It's kind of pushing us out. So I have been at the office 5 days a week, done my best to. I am a single widowed parent, widowed 4 years ago, not because of COVID, just other circumstances. But it's been really hard. And I recently was told that my company wanted everyone to work in the same location. Otherwise, they were going to let us go too. So co-locating. So like, even though we have all of these technologies, we are basically a tech company. We have Zoom, we have all kinds of other technologies to bring us together. I was told that if I am not in location with my team, I needed to find a new role. So that is, I personally, like, I'm just going to be honest, I think that is a way to get people to also quit, or to have a reason to let them go. So me and a coworker who is fantastic, oh my goodness, like, just a great employee, and I think I am a good employee too, we had to find other roles. So I did find one, and I was really excited, and it was a fantastic team, and I was super excited to be there. And then I got a new manager, and new to the company, fantastic person. I have nothing bad to say about her, actually. She's really quite wonderful. But it changed the dynamic of the whole entire team. And the work became a little more cutthroat. Like, we didn't have as many protections from other groups. There was no barrier anymore. and they were just piling work on us. Like, I had 8 projects, complex projects that I had to do in 2 weeks recently, and these are projects where I would have had like maybe 1, 2, or 3 of them to finish in 3 or 4 weeks. Anyways, if I had the time to use AI to do the reports for me, I think that would help me. But I don't even have time to learn it to do that, because there's so much pressure to finish these. Anyways, I'm pretty burnt out. And I don't want to go through this process. I don't want to do AI. I am Gen X. I do not want to do AI. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm right there with you, Gen Z. Absolutely. Like, Gen Z, yes, you were spot on. Every time, the more I dig into AI, the more frightening it is to me. I'm very uncomfortable with how tech billionaires are making decisions about our country. I think that AI is diametrically opposed to democracy. I feel like this is the last straw of having our democracy, and I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to bring it here. I don't want data centers. It's going to be full surveillance eventually. We already have flock cameras all over. There are cameras, at state-of-the-art companies that measure your mood, things of that nature. They know exactly where you are everywhere in the building. This is the future, and it's not a future that I want to be a part of. It's very dystopian. So anyways, I think I'm walking away. I have a little bit of a safety net. I'm lucky. I'm a planner, and I've done well planning. I've been underpaid. As a female who's been at a company for a very long time, I am very underpaid, which is a complaint that I brought up with my company most recently, when I complained about a bit of tech bro misogyny where I'm at. So it's all become extremely problematic in the new department that I'm in. I've been at this company for 18 years, and I've never once complained, and here I am, and now I'm forced to complain to HR about a situation I brought up with my boss. So I am certain that the company is looking to fire me, because that's what they do. HR is not your friend. Just know that. If you are in corporate culture and you complain to HR, they're looking for a way to protect the company and to protect the managers, not you. Even if your complaint is legitimate, they're looking at your complaint, your circumstance, and figuring out a way to protect the company. That is their first goal. Okay, so do not assume that, complaining to HR keeps you safe. It does not. Anyhow, I have learned that over the years, and so I did not want to complain to HR. When I complained to my boss, he forwarded it to HR, and I understand this. I understand why he did that. I'm not upset with him. But this is not a situation I even want to be in. And it's become like a pressure cooker. I can feel them finding, reasons to find cause to fire me, even though I'm brand new to the team. So that is my life right now. So anyways, I've just kind of decided, this is not for me anyways. The team that I am now on, that I've been on for about 90 days, is not the team I initially interviewed for. And I'm not okay with AI, and I don't want to bring it forward. I don't want to deal with it. It makes me feel like every time I use it, I'm losing a bit of myself. And I kind of think the reason, and I might be wrong on this because I'm still analyzing how I feel about it, but I kind of think the reason is because it does the work for you. Um, and people think that that's a wonderful tool, but it kind of takes away learning for you, like the difficulty of problem solving and figuring it out and expanding your mind. It does it for you, so the focus is on the output. It's no longer on how well you do. It's solely on the output, which kind of feels like the means justify the ends. I'm not so sure the means justify the ends, actually. These are policy decisions that I don't agree with morally. I think that people do a lot of bad things in the world under that type of decision making where the means justify the ends. And that's what I think is happening, and it's coming quickly. I mean, my guess is 3 to 5 years. And we all know that public policy takes much longer. So anyhow, it's a cluster. Oh my God, it's such a cluster. I would love to say that this is going to be a good thing, that there are positives in the mix there. And I think the negatives outweigh the positives monumentally. I think our democracy is on the brink as a result of this tool. Anyways, I don't think that's an over-exaggeration at all, actually. I think there are many things we don't know, and I'm perfectly fine admitting that. But I think the things that we do know already, none of it sounds real positive. So anyhow, I have decided I am probably just walking away from all of this. I'm going to try and I'm going to try to find something a little different in my company first. But I think I'm going to struggle because they're just releasing everybody. You know, there's not much out there as far as jobs are concerned. There's not much to find. I'm really close to retirement. I'm kind of hoping they'll just bridge my retirement, maybe give me a severance. I've been with the company so long. Something fair, you know, but I don't expect that. I expect a fight. I expect them to look for a way to fire me, and just to find cause somewhere. And they'll find it. If they're truly looking for it, they will find it eventually. So I'm in Texas. I mean, it's an at-will state. It's not hard to find cause if you really want to find it. Anyways, that's where I'm at. So I'm kind of like in a race of, am I going to let them find cause to fire me and destroy my entire career and not be eligible to come back to the company, or have that uncomfortable conversation with other companies if I wanted to go to another company about, oh, well, I was fired? Or do I just want to leave the company and move on with my life? And this is kind of the space that I'm at. And I think I'm ready to kind of on that cusp of just kind of moving on with my life, because I've done a lot and I've been through a lot, and I think I'm ready for a new adventure, and I think I want to take you with me. And this is me, like, I'm not even wearing makeup. I woke up, like, I look bad. I am 30 pounds heavier because I've gone through perimenopause, or I'm going through it right now. And nobody tells you, ladies, nobody tells you that you're a certain weight your whole life, and then suddenly you hit perimenopause, and then you're 30 pounds heavier, and you don't do anything different. You know, like, I was still running. I was still eating well. It could have been also the stress of losing my husband, my spouse, because this all happened after he passed away 4 years ago. But I was kind of eating extra cake here and there, like, just to cope. But I wasn't eating a whole cake, you know? I mean, like, come on. I was just trying to survive it. but yeah, just still running, still exercising. And the pounds just kept coming. And I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, maybe there's really something wrong with me. Well, there was nothing wrong with me. And then I finally found out it was hormonal. So if you are in your late 40s and you are suddenly just gaining weight and you just can't figure it out, you were probably in perimenopause. And this is something I wish somebody would have told me many years ago. And I'm just putting it all out there now because it's true. Anyways, so I have finally figured out what I need to do, and I'm starting to lose that weight a little bit by little bit. As soon as I leave, I'm just going to go running. I'm going to take walks. I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to stare at the trees. I'm going to hug trees. I'm going to touch the grass barefoot. I'm going to realize that everything I already have is enough. That I don't need to have more, that the consumerism that has been shoved down our throats through every advertisement and every movie. Like those, in movies, you don't really realize it's, advertising, but it is. They strategically place products in there to make you want them. And you think it's your idea, but it isn't. It's product placement. No, I'm not in marketing, but my late spouse was. So I read all of his college books. He kept a lot of them, and I read all the ones that he had, like one on propaganda, one on marketing, one on there was this red book. I can't think of what it's called, but it talks about this, and it was really interesting. And anyways, the best marketing out there makes you think it's your idea. And so every time you want to buy something, remember that and think, is this something that I really want, or is this something that I saw that was strategically placed somewhere and now I think I want it? And I think if you can move forward with that kind of analysis before you make a purchase, you'll find that you don't need as much as you think you need. And just try to love what you have. It's funny because I watch certain shows, and I know I'm bamboozled by Netflix too, right? But I watch certain shows, and I see like these old 80s kitchens. And oh my gosh, it's like your grandma's kitchen, and it's so comfy, and you just feel kind of like cozy in it. And like, why do I have to upgrade to marble? Why do I have to upgrade to the best designs and all of these, blue cabinets and just everything? Like, why can't I just be happy with what I have because it's enough? Anyhow, this room though, I've got to do something with it. I mean, this is not really livable, but I'm figuring that out. It's going to cost money, and I'm sad because I have a ton of sunk costs. I have about $20,000 in sunk costs from the construction project, and I'll figure it out. But if I want to move forward with construction, or if I just want to leave everything and have someone come in and redo this as is, it's not structurally a problem. Structurally, it's sound, but it's just old, and it's kind of a mess in this room. And you didn't see it until you pulled everything off, and then you realize, oh wow, this probably needs to be reconstructed. Anyways, I think I'm going to walk away from my corporate job. I think I'm going to walk away from corporate culture. I don't think I'm going back. And maybe for some, they think that I'm lucky that I even had any of that. This has never been who I am. I remember when I was my daughter's age, she's 17, and my mom told me I was going to have to get a corporate job and work there the rest of my life because I needed insurance. And I remember feeling devastated. Like, why would you say this to me? Like, why do I have to do that? And it's because we were poor. Like there weren't any options. Like it's not like she could send me to art school, or like I could go to music school, or I could do something that served my soul. Um, I had to get a job immediately, which I already had. I was waiting tables. Um, and then I had to get a corporate job, which I did. I found one that I could work at part-time that would help me pay for college and have my own health insurance. And I've just been kind of in ever since. Um, my degree is in psychology. I wanted to do research, neuro research, but I just didn't have the funding to get my master's at that point. And I know people are like, oh, but you could go get, scholarships and stuff. Well, when you're working two jobs and you're already kind of struggling. I had ADHD, ADD, undiagnosed. I didn't realize it. And so it took me so long to study everything. And I just didn't have like those A's that I really needed to get all the scholarships. But I also didn't have help to know what scholarships I could get getting B's. Anyways, when I got on ADHD medicine, I made straight A's, like nearly hundreds in everything, but it wasn't enough to bring my grades up. So it is what it is. That's okay. I worked two jobs. I finally figured out what was wrong with me. And I moved on with my life, and I stayed in corporate culture because it was what I kind of needed to do at that point. And I've been here ever since. And I think a lot of us end up like that. And I'm not saying that it's not good for some, or good for me. I mean, I loved it. There were times that I absolutely loved what I was doing. But it didn't ever really feel fulfilling. It's hard to explain. It always felt like I kind of put pieces of my soul to the side so that I could get things done. And I think I'm done with that part of my life. And it's not a midlife crisis. I mean, I'm beyond midlife at this point. I think it's just the wisdom of going through life and understanding it more now, that I understand time itself is not unlimited. And I just don't want to waste any more of it. So I'm putting myself out there. I'm real. And I'm sitting here drinking from a mug that my late husband gave me as a last gift, the final Christmas that I spent with him. That was all he had. He was sick, and it was just a really complicated death. But he gave me this mug, and I drink my coffee in it every morning. And it's not even morning anymore. I don't even know what time it is. It's like 11 or something. I don't know. Maybe a little earlier, but I've just been on this wild ride. I think most of us have. And I'm ready to get off that ride. And I want to take you with me. And maybe I can help you too. Because I told my daughter, with AI, go to college, do what you want. Do something that you enjoy. Do not consider college a job creator, or do not, I've never believed that college is meant only to find a job. I know some people believe that. They're wrong. College is meant to expand your mind. It's meant for you to find yourself. It is there so you can read good literature and expand your horizons and diversify your knowledge of the world. It helps you learn how to think and even how to see in some senses. That it's not just surface layer, that there are deep pieces of life, of human nature and nature, and that we are part of nature. And you can look at the world differently than what you knew your whole life. You can examine things in a way that maybe you couldn't before stepping in those doors of the university. And I told her this because I've always believed it. When I was at college, I knew this. And I told her, don't go there to find a job. Go there to find yourself. Figure out who you are. Do what you love. Get that art degree. And if you really put yourself forward with whatever it is you choose, there is no way you are going to fail. You might go through many failures, but ultimately, if you keep picking up and continuing on, you are going to be okay. And it is going to be a worthy experience, which is a life. So I hope she listens, because I don't want her to make the same mistakes I made. But anyways, I want to take you on my experience, because I think we're at a pivotal moment in our culture and our democracy and our world. And I think there are other ways to be in it and to be. And it's not going to be easy. So that's why I'm here, no makeup, and I'm just myself. I will not be dishonest with you. I will show you the bad parts. So that you're not stepping into something that you think is all rosy and flowery. None of it is going to be. It's going to be hard. And I think that's the path that is calling my name right now. And I hope you will join me. Thank you.